Welcome, Outlaw fans, to this episode of Saturday Night Shootout. Now, I know it's Friday night, but we're going to go ahead and do it tonight to make room for Steve Jones, MTA's Holiday Havoc, over on the MTA YouTube page tomorrow night at 7. You don't want to miss it. Taking a look back at last week, Mitch Brown got it done in the Gravedigger over Jaylen in the USA 1, but who's going to get it here tonight?
Get ready to meet the superstars of the TNT Monster Truck Challenge and their high-flying, car-crushing machine.
Tonight, here we are on the Saturday Night Shootout track, the faster track of the two. I'm excited to see what these old school trucks can do here on this high horsepower track. It's going to be just like an old school gunfight western shootout here on this fast track, seeing who can lay down the horsepower first and get across the line. Like I say, Mitch Brown looking to stay on top in the Gravedigger. Jaylen's after him in the USA 1, but which other of these 14 drivers might have a shot at it? Here, kicking off things with round one, that's Dirt Dog Chad Legit coming out of Clemson, South Carolina, with that beautiful AMPM Rocket Chevrolet. And in the other lane, that's Wild Man Ryan Johnson coming out of Welch, West Virginia, with the West Virginia Mountaineer. It's a Ford versus Chevrolet matchup to get us kicked off here in round one. These two drivers have had success here in the old school series, but only one is going to move into round two action. They're staged and ready, waiting on that green light to come down the line, see who can put the horsepower down first and who's going to get it done moving into round two action. Here they come down the stretch now. Chad Legit's got a little bit of a lead, looking pretty good, but he gets out of shape and gets into the lane divider, and that's going to cost him the race as Wild Man Ryan Johnson gets across the line first with some good-looking air in the West Virginia Mountaineer machine. Chad Legit and the AMPM Rocket going on the trailer, headed back to South Carolina here tonight. Ryan Johnson in round two. Up next to the line now, that's last week's winner, Rocket Man Mitch Brown in the Gravedigger machine coming out of Arnold, Missouri. That's a Ford on the outside, but a Chevrolet in the inside. His opponent in the other lane, that's Lewis Thompson IV, Big Lou, coming out of Wichita, Kansas, with the King Crunch Chevrolet. Now, Mitch Brown looking very good out here on the circuit. He has the points lead right now and would love nothing more but to make it all the way back to the finals here tonight. But he's got to get out of round one first. And you know he's got to be the favorite, as Lewis Thompson has been struggling with the King Crunch machine, but he'd love nothing more than to upset Mitch Brown here tonight. They're staged and ready, waiting on the green light. Coming down the stretch now, Mitch Brown with a huge lead, some nice air coming all the way up and over. Some more huge air over the cars. And problems yet again for Lewis Thompson in the King Crunch machine. The truck just does not seem to want to operate with him. He can't get it dialed in, but he's got one more week to see if he can get it right. But Mitch Brown in the Gravedigger is moving on into round two action. Lewis Thompson, Big Lou, and King Crunch is on the trailer for tonight, headed back to Wichita, Kansas. Now, up next, coming out of Bonita Springs, Florida, that's Savvy Savannah in the AMPM Boss, that beautiful-looking Chevrolet, and her opponent in the other lane, that's the Madman Ryan Hayward coming out of Calais, Maine, with the Nightmare 2 Chevrolet. It's a Chevrolet versus Chevrolet battle. Savannah struggling just a little bit out here in the old school series. She's trying to get that AMPM Boss dialed in. She would love nothing more than to upset Ryan Hayward, who we have yet to see back in the finals, as he made it to the finals in the first episode of the old school series here, where Joshua Wells, the assassin, took him out. He's wanting to get back, but he's got to get through Savannah first. Here's the green light now coming down the stretch. He's got a lead on her. coming through the middle of the track. They're pretty even up and over the cars. Oh my goodness. What a close, incredible race. I don't know who got it. We're going to have to take the look at the photo finish here to see who got it. It looked like Ryan Hayward, but I'm not sure if Savannah come back on him. She had a head of steam headed down toward the finish line. Let's double check here. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a tie right there. And the outlaw officials are calling them back to the line because we're about to rerun this race. Here we are again. They're in the same lanes as before. Savannah in AMPM Boss taking on Ryan Hayward in the Nightmare 2 Chevrolet. Only one's going to move on. Savannah almost got him. Let's see if she can get it done this time, or is Ryan Hayward going to put her away? They're staged and ready, waiting on the green light. There it is now. Here they come down the stretch. Ryan's got a lead again. Savannah's going to have to play catch-up, but she doesn't have anything for him this time. Some huge air for both of them over the cars, and Ryan Hayward, the madman, is going to get it done and punch his ticket into round 2. Savvy Savannah is going to be on the trailer for tonight, headed back down to Florida. She gave it a good run for the money, though, but Ryan Hayward's going to move on. Up next to the line now, last week's finalist, that's Jaylen Prazik coming out of Ham Lake, Minnesota, with that beautiful USA 1 Chevrolet, and his opponent in the other lane is another youngster. That's Big E, Ethan Wagner, coming out of Buffalo, New York, with that beautiful First Blood Ford. Now, these two youngsters here, they both know how to get it done, as they have both tasted victory out here on the outlaw circuit. They both have wins. Jaylen has a championship under his belt, and you know he would love to get another notch taking Ethan out, but Ethan's not going to back down from him. They're both staged and ready at the line. Here's the green light now. Here they come down the stretch. They look pretty even. Both of them with some nice air. Ethan out of shape getting in the lane divider coming across the line. Oh my goodness, what another close finish. I think Jaylen got it. I don't know if Ethan come back as he got out of shape a little bit, hitting the lane divider there toward the middle of the track. They were both going after each other there. We're going to take a look at the photo finish here to see who got it. And Ethan Wagner, even after hitting the lane divider, he's going to have enough to get by Jaylen Prazik. Jaylen on the trailer, headed back to Minnesota. Ethan moving on. Well, up next here in competition, that is the assassin, Joshua Wells, coming out of Winchester, Kentucky, in the Taurus Chevrolet. And his opponent in the other lane is Fifi Karras in the Super Monster Ford. Now, coming to the line, you got to know, or you got to think here, Joshua Wells is the favorite as he won the first episode out here of this old school series. And we haven't seen him back yet. He's wanting to get back. And Fifi has struggled to get Super Monster dialed in. But man, if he could get an upset win over Joshua Wells here, he'll be happy. They're staged and ready now, seeing if Fifi can get it done. Here's the green light now. Coming down the stretch, Joshua Wells has got a lead on him. Noses over a little bit, but he keeps it straight. Fifi is out of shape, headed toward the wall, but he keeps it off the wall. And you're still struggling to get the Super Monster Ford dialed in. It is giving him a handful of problems, much like Big Lou with the King Crunch, but there's still one more chance to get them dialed in and where they want them before we close out this old school series. But Joshua Wells and Taurus moving on. Up next to the line now, that's Big Mike Lanford. He has got the only Dodge out here in the field in that beautiful Rolling Thunder van, and set to take on Hot Rod Steve Jones over in the other lane out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, in the Excalibur Chevrolet. No guts, no glory, baby. These two here are actually both from Virginia. These Virginia boys are good friends. They're going to throw it down here in round 1 action, though. Mike got him last week in the 3-wide racing. Steve wants to get him back this week. Let's see how it goes. Dodge and Chevrolet at the line. Staged and ready, waiting on that green light. There it is now. Here they come down the stretch. They're pretty even. Up and over the first jump. Look out, Mike's getting sideways. He's really getting sideways, and he's up and over. He rolls that Rolling Thunder again for the second time this season. He was giving it all she had trying to catch Steve Jones, but he didn't have anything for him, as Steve Jones is going to get across the line first. Moving into round 2, Big Mike Lanford rolls her over and is on the trailer headed back toward Virginia here tonight. Coming up to the line now, that's Skipper, Jeffrey Skipper out of Nashville, Tennessee, with his push and stomp Chevrolet S10, making that big time horsepower. His opponent in the other lane is Mr. Second Round, Rudy Zilligy out of Bonita Springs, Florida, in that beautiful Stomper Bully Chevrolet. Another Chevrolet versus Chevrolet matchup. These two guys here have struggled to get out of round 1 here in this series, but one of them's going to get it done. Who's it going to be, though? Is it going to be Jeffrey with the push and stomp or Rudy in the Stomper Bully? Both of them wanting to stomp each other out, but let's see who can get it done as the green light goes now. Here they come down the stretch. Rudy's got a little bit of a lead coming in the middle. He gets a little out of shape, gets into the lane divider, and that's going to cost him, as Jeffrey Skipper with some big time air over the cars is going to move into round 2 action with a good looking run. Rudy Zilligy getting out of shape, hitting the lane divider. He's going to be out of competition here tonight, going on the trailer, headed back to Florida as well. Here to close out round 1 action, that is Rich Wagner coming out of Buffalo, New York in the Thunder Chicken Chevrolet S10. And his opponent in the other lane is Brian Prazik coming out of Ham Lake, Minnesota in the Bigfoot. Now, you know, coming to the line, these two have battled out a little bit this season. Rich would love to get an upset win here in the Thunder Chicken Chevrolet, but Brian Prazik has had Bigfoot set on kill the last few weeks here, has looked good, hasn't made it to the finals yet, but is looking very good out here and wants to get into round 2. But Rich Wagner isn't going to back down from him. Let's see who's going to get it done to close out round 1 action as the green light goes. Here they come down the stretch. Brian's got a lead in the Bigfoot. Coming over the first jump. Look out. Rich gets a little out of shape. Comes over here. Hits the wall protection. Gets out of shape a little bit. And Brian Prazik with a good looking run in the Bigfoot machine is going to punch his ticket into round 2. Rich Wagner packing it up on the trailer and is going to be headed back to New York out of competition here tonight. But Brian Prazik moves on into round 2 action. Here we are with round 2 action. Ryan Johnson, the Wild Man, brings the West Virginia Mountaineer back to the line. Looked very strong in round 1, but his opponent in the other lane is Rocket Man Mitch Brown in the Grave Digger. And you know Mitch Brown is set on kill here tonight. He wants to win back-to-back events and would love nothing more than to do so. But Ryan Johnson isn't going to back down from him. These two here have started to form a little bit of a rivalry out here on the circuit. Two Fords at the line ready to throw it down, but one's got that Chevrolet horsepower tucked away in the back. Who can get it done and move into semifinals? Here's the green light now. Coming down the stretch, Mitch has got a lead on him. Ryan's going to have to play catch-up. Some big-time air by Mitch, and Ryan Johnson, is out of shape in the lane divider there. Doesn't even get across the finish line, and Mitch Brown is going to put him on the trailer in the Grave Digger machine, as Mitch Brown is going to move back into the semifinals, wanting to get back to the finals, but he's got to get through semis first. Ryan Johnson on the trailer here tonight. Now, here is Ryan Hayward, who I tried to say a minute ago. Excuse me for that. He's in the Nightmare 2 Chevrolet pulling to the line, and his opponent in the right lane is Big E Ethan Wagner with that First Blood Ford. Both these trucks look pretty good in round 1. Ryan Hayward had his hands full with Savannah. Ethan Wagner also had his hands full with Jaylen. They both barely got by, but we're going to see who can get it done here and be the second to move into the semifinals to face Mitch Brown in the Grave Digger. They're staged and ready, waiting on that green light now. Another Ford Chevrolet matchup. Let's see who's going to get it done as the green light goes. Here they come now. They are dead even. A little slight advantage from Ryan Hayward. Some big time air by Ryan Hayward. And look out. He's headed toward the wall protection. Hang on, Ryan. Oh, my goodness. What a wild ride. He's going to want to check his britches after that ride. I'm here to tell you. Ethan Wagner is going to pick up the win, though. Looking good over there in the first blood forward. Ryan Hayward's going to be on the trailer just as soon as he gets done checking his pants here tonight. He is going to be headed back to Maine. But Ethan Wagner is going to be in the semifinals here tonight. Now up next to the line, the assassin Joshua Wells brings the Taurus Chevrolet back to the line, and his opponent in the other lane is going to be none other than Hot Rod Steve Jones with the Excalibur Chevrolet. Another two Chevrolet bow tie matchup. We're going to see who can get it done, though. They both look good in round one. Joshua Wells defeating Fifi, and Steve took care of Mike Lanford as Mike rolled it over with the Rolling Thunder machine. But they are staged here and ready to see who's going to move on in the semifinals. They're at this line now, psyching each other out to see who's going to get the jump first. Waiting on that green light to go. Here it is now. Coming down the stretch. Here they come. They're dead even. Coming across the first jump. Some big time air by both of them. Look out. Joshua's out of shape a little bit. Bumps into Bigfoot down there. Woke Brian Prazik up if he was sleeping in there. I hope he wasn't. That was a close race. I'm not sure who got it as Joshua Wells got out of shape. Missed the ramp. Steve hits the ramp and they come across the line at what looked like the same time. I could not tell who got the win. We're going to check the photo finish here to see. And folks, that's another tie. The Outlaws officials are saying, hey, let's bring them back up to the line. We're going to run them again. So now, here we are one more time. Joshua Wells in the Taurus Bull Chevrolet set to take on Steve Jones in the Excalibur Chevrolet. They were neck and neck a minute ago, but only one can get it done this time. Who's going to punch their ticket to the semifinals? We're about to find out right here as they're staged and ready, waiting on that green light to go. Psyching each other out again. Here they come now down the stretch. They're side by side yet again. Steve Jones has got a lead on him, but Joshua tried to come back. We're going to have to take a look at another photo finish because that was close down there. Steve had him through the middle of the track there, but right as soon as they got to the final car stack there, Joshua Wells may have come back on him. I couldn't quite tell. We're going to wait on the Outlaw replay here. Photo finish. And Steve Jones does get it done in the Excalibur Chevrolet, putting Joshua Wells on the trailer, headed back to Kentucky. Now to close out round two action, Jeffrey Skipper comes back with the Push and Stomp Chevrolet S10, and his opponent in the other lane, the right lane, that's Brian Prazik, bringing the Bigfoot back to the line. Now these two here, if you guys keep up with MTA, you know that myself, the Outlaw Motorsports, and Johnson Motorsports has a big rivalry, and Jeffrey Skipper and Brian Prazik, they go back and forth a good bit. But who's going to live up to the talk here tonight as they are both staged and ready at the line, trying to psych each other out a little bit? Can Jeffrey Skipper get it done with the Chevrolet, or is Brian Prazik going to get the Bigfoot Ford into the semifinals? Here's the green light now down the stretch. They're side by side off the first jump. They both look good all the way to the middle, coming to the line, and that is another too close to call race. It looked like Brian Prazik may have had it. I don't know if Jeffrey Skipper come back on him, though. It was close down there at the end. Brian had him through the middle there, but Jeffrey Skipper was chomping at the bit to catch back up to him, and he just very well may have done that. We're going to double check here, though, with the photo finish. And Brian Prazik in the Bigfoot Ford is going to get by Jeffrey Skipper by merely inches. Here we are in the semifinals. Mitch Brown, the Rocket Man, is back with the Grave Digger. You know he's wanting to get to the finals and win it back-to-back so bad he can taste it. But he's got to get through Big E, Ethan Wagner, in the First Blood Forward first. Ethan has looked very good here tonight, and you know he would love nothing more to upset Mitch Brown in the Grave Digger. But Mitch Brown ain't backing down for nobody. He is wanting to put that old Ford panel van back in victory lane back-to-back here tonight, but he's got to go through Ethan first. Can he get it done? They're both staged and ready at the light, playing mind games with each other. Here it is now. There's the green light coming down the stretch. They're side by side. Some big time error by Gravedigger. Ethan gets a little out of shape coming across the line. Gravedigger noses over a little bit. Another close finish. I believe Mitch Brown may have got it, but I'm not sure if Ethan come back on him. We're going to wait and see from the Outlaw photo finish here. I believe Mitch got it, but I'm not quite sure. Ethan was sure coming through the middle there to catch back up to him. Let's take a look here and double check. And by a bitty red headlight, Mitch Brown is going to put Gravedigger back in the finals yet again. Now, who's going to join him here to close out semifinal action? Is it going to be Hot Rod Steve Jones in the Excalibur Chevrolet? Or is it going to be Brian Prazik in the Bigfoot Ford? Now, Brian, he is yet to win out here on the Outlaw circuit, and this may surprise a lot of you guys, but so has Steve Jones. He has not got a win out here on Outlaw circuit since, if you guys can recall, before I started this channel, when I used to do the Facebook Live, Steve got him a win in the Rap Attack. Brian would love nothing more than to put him on the trailer, but Steve wants that first win out here in Excalibur. There's the green light now. Here they come down the stretch. They're dead even. Coming off the first jump, Steve noses over a little bit, gets out of shape. Brian's out of shape too across the line. That's another close call. We're going to have to wait to see for the Outlaw photo finish to see who got that one. That was so close. It looked like Steve had it, but I don't know if Brian come back, as Steve nosed over off the first jump there. Got a little out of shape, but come across, and I think he still may have got it as Brian got out of shape right there at the end. And sure enough, Hot Rod Steve Jones punches his ticket to the finals. Brian on the trailer headed back to Minnesota. Here we are with the finals. Rocket Man Mitch Brown brings that Gravedigger back to the line one more time here tonight. And the opponent in the other lane is Hot Rod Steve Jones in the Excalibur Chevrolet. Folks, this is going to be an old school street fight right here. I'm here to tell you, Mitch Brown, the Rocket Man, wants to put Gravedigger back in victory lane again for a back-to-back sweep, but Steve Jones ain't backing down in the Excalibur. He wants his very first win out here on the Outlaw circuit. Can he get it done? No glut, no glory. They're staged and ready, waiting on the green light. Here it is now. Coming down the stretch, they're dead even. Coming up and over the first jump, big air by both of them. They both get a little squirrely over the line. Oh my goodness. Another close race to here to close out the action tonight. It looked like Steve Jones had got it, but Mitch Brown was coming for him, and I don't know if he got there in time. He might have run out of real estate to do so, as it looked like he got a little squirrely right before the final set of cars and bumped the lane divider. And in fact, he did. That's going to cost him the race, as Steve Jones in the Excalibur Chevrolet is going to pick up his first victory out here on the Outlaw circuit. A huge congratulations to my buddy Steve Jones in the Excalibur Chevrolet, finally getting it dialed in and got himself a win. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Saturday Night Shootout. If you haven't already, be sure to shoot the subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment. Be sure to check out the group and the link to the description of the video. And we will see you guys Monday for Monday Night Drags if we don't catch you tomorrow for Holiday Havoc. Merry Christmas to all of you guys, and I appreciate all the support. I could not do it without you guys. Thank y'all.